All right, good evening. I would like to call to order the January 15th, 2026 meeting of the Lacey Library Board. I want to start by wishing everybody a happy new year. Hope your year's off to a good start so far. I would like to go around the room and do roll call. If you could just say your name briefly, that would be great. And then we'll talk about what we've read later in the meeting. Okay, so let's start with.
My name is Alzaman.
Pam Nelson.
Go Frillick.
Charlotte Deasy.
Christina Hancock.
All right, great. And we do have Amy Blondin is not here today, so she's been excused. And with the folks we have in the room, we do have a quorum. All right, I'd like to begin the meeting like we do every meeting with a land acknowledgement, and I will go ahead and read that. We, the City of Lacey, are on the ancestral land of the tribal people of the Treaty of Medicine Creek, including the Nisqually Indian tribe and the Squaxin Indian tribe. We acknowledge and remember those tribal people not recognized today who were absorbed or relocated into other tribes for survival. We recognize the ancestors and their descendants who are still here. We recognize and respect the tribal people of the Treaty of Medicine Creek as the traditional stewards of this land since time immemorial and their role today in taking care of these lands in perpetuity. We recognize and have the responsibility to call attention to the histories of disposition, forced removal, and abridged treaty rights that allowed our nation, state, and city to develop as they have today. And we recommend that the community members read the Medicine Creek Treaty of 1854. Okay, with that, you have an agenda in front of you. I'm looking, anybody have any thoughts on the agenda?
We approve the agenda.
Okay,
Second.
before we do that.
Well, since you've already had the motion, okay, did you want to make an amendment? I think.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, do we have any discussion? And at discussion time here, I would like to propose a slight amendment. And I would like to add an item before item 7 to talk about term updates. So right before we have election of officers, I'd like to talk about current members' terms. Okay. So with that friendly amendment, do I now have an motion to approve the agenda?
Move that we approve the agenda as amended.
I second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, we're good to go. Thank you very much. We're looking to approve the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes? Okay. We'll have a recommendation for approval.
You're always the one to find something, so I always defer to you. You're good at the spelling words and everything. Sit quietly. I move that the minutes be approved.
5 seconds.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, great.
You meant that in the kindest of ways.
All right,
You have a
public
really good
comment.
attention.
We don't have any members of the public here.
Nobody's online.
Doesn't look like we have anybody online. Okay, so we're gonna move on to item 7, which is the library manager's report. And we'll turn it over to Christina.
Okay. So my report covers from October 2025 through December 2025. There's some highlights that are happening in the community right now. The Lacey Loves to Read Teen Writing and Art Contest is underway. The Lacey Loves to Read bookmark winners have been announced, and those winners will be recognized at next week's city council meeting. I brought some of the bookmarks down at the end, so whenever you all leave, you can grab it, however many you want or whichever ones you want.
Cool.
There's going to be a Meet the Author event featuring this year's author, Renee Watson, at the Koval Performing Arts Center on Thursday, February 12th from 6 to 7. We are also now offering a Touch a Truck family story time, which I think is the cutest thing ever. So the City of Lacey Public Works has partnered with the library to bring city workers and their trucks into our parking lot, and we have a short story time, and then the families can explore the trucks, and kids love it. It's extremely popular. And then the biggest highlight is that Michael Threets, the new host of Reading Rainbow, visited the Lacey Library for a day last Saturday, I believe, with local YouTube creator Workman MJ. And they toured the library, they ran the AMH machine, which is the automated materials handling machine that it's like a inventory machine. And then MJ made Michael a library card, and MJ, his mom said that he slept with his library card that night. So that was just very, very cute. And I sent a video to you all via email that has his little video on it. It's very cute. I have some programs here. The ones that are in bold are monetarily supported by our friends group. We have a few updates at the Lacey Library. We were closed for 16 days for a bathroom remodel. The remodel consists of new stalls, countertops, fixtures, and epoxy floors. And it's really looking great. We are set to have new countertops and sinks in the men's and the family restroom tomorrow. So that'll be done by hopefully before we open. And then probably knock on wood. We are also in the process of hiring another library supervisor in addition to the one that we have. And we held interviews on January 9th. We'll have a few more interviews at the end of the month to solidify our the person that we'd like to hire. Some TRL updates. WorkSource at the library. There's several libraries in the district that have WorkSource staff located within the library. And they help with job searches, making connections with community resources, resume assistance, job match help, and labor market and wage information. They are at our library every Tuesday and Thursday from 10 to 12 and then 1 to 4. And they've been a really great resource. Their table is always full every time that they come. So I know that they're being utilized, which is great because it helps with our staff as well. We can point them in that direction if they need resume help or anything in the career aspect. We also hit 15 million digital checkouts on December 24th. That was a nice little Christmas gift for TRL. We have some statistics at the back. I'm sorry about my page spacing. Ugh, I hate it. But anyways, you'll see that there was some decrease in our physical checkouts, but increases in our digital. And I knew that there was going to be a bigger decrease in November and December because of the closure with our bathroom updates. But we also had a pretty fair increase in our digital checkouts. And that is my report.
I have a question from somebody I worked with today. She wants to know, is it okay to check out a digital book for just, if I just need to look something up in it? Does that cost you money?
I think the contract, I'm not sure how the contract is structured. I'm not sure if it's per checkout or if there's
It can be per checkout and sometimes it just has a time.
But yeah,
It's been expiration, so there's
Right.
different contract models. If you're just looking it up and it's in the first few pages and it's on an e-reader, you can preview it for free from most.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good idea.
And there's a lot in it.
there's,
And if it's a classic, you can get it for free on Project Gutenberg almost always. So like anything but like Three Musketeers or that era.
Yeah.
Interesting question.
That 15 million is a impressive number. But I'm guessing most people aren't probably renting more than maybe 2 a month too.
I'm assuming.
What time frame is that?
That's since we've had Overdrive.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't know how many users though.
Not off the top of my head now.
Questions?
Users. These are all questions I can answer in the future.
So then the library's closed right now.
It's open. We
Oh, it is open.
reopened, yes, we reopened December 18th.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so,
okay, I
yeah, we're-
understand. You're just still working on restrooms and
Right.
stuff. Okay, I understand. Gotcha. Are you still gonna be able to do, and maybe it's in here and I missed it, I'm sorry, offer the tax services? that
Yes,
you have in the past?
we are starting that, that was something I should have added into this report. We are starting that in February, and I can get a more concrete date out via email. You,
Yes, she is.
Here.
Yeah.
Here, right here.
Are you doing it?
Yes.
Okay.
thank you. We're still waiting for our tax booklets.
We are having an assembly party next
Ooh, and it's-
Tuesday, because they were late printing the forms for us, so
Okay.
we were supposed to work on that like the first Friday in January, we were
Okay.
and get them out to you, but we should have them soon.
Okay.
The Iris is free for all that close down.
I do everything through AARP, so there's a lot of things with the IRS that have closed down, but I don't track that as closely because I have to go in a different way.
I do as well, but.
All right, any more questions? No? Okay, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, we're gonna move on to item 7B, and that's an update of the Lacey Library Board bylaws. And if you recall, at our last meeting, we were talking a little bit about how the minutes get generated during our bylaws. And there's actually a great staff report in your materials. I hope you had a chance to look at it. Thank you for that. Very good. And basically, the kind of the gist of it is the city council adopted an advisory board handbook. And under that handbook, the duties have been assigned to city staff rather than board members. And this board still has a kind of a vice chair / secretary position. So we talked about eliminating the secretary role of that position, and city staff would take that on for us. So there's a copy of the bylaws as amended, which with red strike through there in the materials. And those are the main changes. There's also a couple other changes, removing the word president to the word chair in a couple other spots. So well done, thank you, appreciate it very much.
Thank Brandy.
Do we have any questions or thoughts? Yes,
Can we take a look at section 3, agendas and notices?
yes.
It says the chair shall prepare all meeting agendas and notices shall indicate the time and date. It says the chair shall prepare all meeting agendas, and the notices shall indicate, or the agendas and the notices supposed to indicate the same.
Well, and I think too, in reviewing the bylaws, there's probably multiple areas of this particular group's bylaws that probably needs to be
Yeah.
reviewed, updated, current practice. So current practice, really, the agenda creation is done through city staff, but is approved by the chair. Or, in coordination with the chair, before then being distributed. I think in past years, or maybe when these were even developed, it looked a lot different where the chair created and sent over everything. And so we've kind of brought that into our agenda management software and trying to alleviate some of the extra burden on the board members themselves. So I think back to your question, I don't have it in front of me, I apologize.
Chair shall prepare.
Yeah, so the agendas and notice is it's highlighting that they will indicate the time, date, and place of the meeting. So notices being again, the agenda themselves act as notices. But we also in the clerk's office, if there was any rescheduling or cancellation, we would take on the requirement through OPMA laws of noticing that officially.
And if folks want to take a deeper dive into these at some point, we can put that on our agenda for this year. And yeah, because there's another issue I found in there, but it's not substantial. Any other questions about what's presented to us? Okay. So do we have a motion to approve the bylaws as amended.
I move that we approve the bylaws as amended.
We have a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? All right, the motion carries. Great. Thank you very much.
And on that note, we can highlight and kind of put this, into effect immediately as far as the clerk's office taking the minutes. These minutes will start, they'll be more streamlined and brought into the standard that all of our other advisory boards and council minutes are. So they will look a little bit different, less detailed than what you guys are currently utilizing. But so they will be action summary. They will be kind of crafted out very similar to how the agenda themselves are. Because all of our meetings are broadcasted, recorded, and then made available, full discussion and detail can always be referred back to. So this is why we kind of started going towards more action summary in our minutes. So if we were wanting to kind of recall specific details within certain reports, that's definitely where you'll want to go back to the meeting recording.
Makes sense. Good use of technology. Okay, great.
Yep,
Thank you very much. Okay, I would like to now talk about kind of the where we are with, we're recruiting for new members, and I'd like to talk about the term of the current members here. So we're going to squeeze that in between 7B and 7C. I looked at the webpage this morning and tried to figure out where we were as a group. And I'm just going to go ahead and talk about that here real quick. Pam, you're good through February 1st of 29.
29.
29,
Okay.
Oz, you're through February, it says February 1st of 30. So you got a few years to go. Charlotte, February 1st of 28. Okay. And then Amy and myself are through February 6th of this year. And there was a recruitment that went out for interested citizens if they would like to apply. And we have 2 people that are interested. And there will be interviews are going to be set up at the end of the month. And whoever is nominated chair tonight might be asked to participate in those interviews. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure everybody was on point there. And then Luca, you serve as part of the school system there, the process. Okay. Any questions about terms or recruitments? Okay, with that, I'd like to move on to the election of officers. And so with our new bylaws in place, we're now looking for a chair and a vice chair, right? The responsibility of taking notes is off the table, so to speak. So that relieves a little stress at that end. And so the definitions actually of for chair and vice chair are in the board bylaws. And I can speak, we'll start with the election of chair. And I can speak from, I think I've been chair 3 times now or so, and I can speak from personal, my experience that the staff do a great job of getting me up to speed. There's the agenda's put together, we go back and forth with topics. And so it's a really nice process. I feel really supported as a chair here, and I always have, actually. So the chair runs the meeting, coordinates with the city, and also calls any special committees we might want to put together. So is anybody, do I have I'd like to open the floor for nominations. And you may nominate yourself if you'd like to do that as well.
I'd like to say that I would be happy to serve as chair again, but because I have held that position in the past, I don't want to stand in the way of anybody else who desires to undertake that role now.
Yeah, okay.
Is there anyone other than you who served as vice chair yet?
I've served as vice chair for like 3 years.
Are you interested in chair?
I made my goal after I retired not to run anything. I'll support, do everything, but I don't want to run anything.
Well, I would like to nominate you to be chair again.
I accept the nomination.
And I would second that.
All right, well, that's good. It looks like we were in agreement.
I think I follow you, like, what, for a 3rd time?
Yeah, it might be. So congratulations, Charlotte. You will be the chair of the Lacey Library Board.
You guys want
Do
to
you
do a
want-
vote on the
Okay, yeah,
nominations?
okay, well,
But
take a
without
vote.
objection or.
all right, all those in favor of Charlotte for chair?
I
Aye. I'm not even gonna ask a question. Nobody's opposed to you. You're awesome. Okay, congratulations. All right, vice chair.
Would you like-
I'd like to nominate Oz for the position of vice chair.
And I'd second that.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, congratulations. We have a new chair and a vice chair. And as I said, I think the city staff will be in touch to see if you might be available to help with some interviews coming up.
I'll be reaching out probably tomorrow.
There you go. And if you can't make it, maybe Oz or could, and it doesn't have to be a person with a position either, right? I mean, if,
No, it's typically the chair or if the
Or-
chair is unavailable, vice chair,
Okay,
but
okay.
I think, yeah, we
Okay.
can definitely sort it out if neither is available.
yeah, it'd be good to have somebody there.
Explains a lot. The very first time I was appointed to this board, it explains to me why some of the people who were in the interview room were in there.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, we're gonna move on to item 7D for the good of the order, and I believe we were gonna have a little bit, yeah.
I just have a quick brief. I'm going to be handing out the 2026 Advisory Board Stipend Program forms. These are forms that highlight advisory boards who are eligible to receive stipends of $50 per meeting. And then with a maximum of 500 per year, because this is, fiscal related, we are looking to get these forms every year. So whether or not you want to change or any selection from the prior year, this is required for going into 2026. We are asking for them to be returned within 30 days. You're happy to fill it out and leave it with me tonight, or take it home and maybe consult and then send it to me after the fact. But if you are not able to complete the form and return it within 30 days, it will be defaulted to an opt-out status, because there are some other qualifiers that our finance department needs that are time sensitive. So I'll pass these out just following the meeting, just for advisory board members. Youth Council has already received these, so Luca's got that covered under the Youth Council. And then on the tables, similar to the Advisory Board Stipend Program, there is our demographic survey that you guys have all been made aware of and potentially participated in. This is not a requirement, it is voluntary, but we do ask to get demographic information every year, so that helps kind of build our aggregate data of our advisory boards for each year and reporting out. So that is on the table for anybody who would like to participate. Again, it's just a QR code. It doesn't take any of your personal information, and you can do that at your leisure, or you can ask me to send a link to you offline as well, and I'm happy to do that. And that's all I have.
Okay, any questions on stipends or demographic survey? All right, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else for the good of the order? Yes.
Also, if I'm beginning to talk about something that you're gonna cover later, stop me. I just want to express my appreciation for Amy for her service on the board, and for Scott, who has been on the board as long as I've been on I've never known a board without Scott. And I have appreciated his leadership, and in the times that I have held the chair's position, I have appreciated his guidance and support. Thank you very much.
You bet. I thank you. I appreciate that very much.
And I will expand on that as well. Just with both Amy and Scott sunsetting in their membership, we will have a public service award that we will invite obviously them both, but extend that invite to the library board at a council meeting. Again, dates to be determined and details to be determined, but wanting to make sure that recognition expands beyond just even this board as well. So thank you.
I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, this is my second run at a Lacey board. I was on the planning commission for several years in the early 2000s when I had hair. So, yeah, I think it's great to, get a different
I
perspective.
couldn't have there on the early.
And I'm very impressed with the way that the city has advanced into newer technologies and, making this inclusive to others that can't be here. So. All right, anything else for the good of the order? think what I'd like to do is after we adjourn, maybe we could go around and talk about what we're reading. So folks,
Yeah.
we don't have to record them. So. All right. Hearing nothing, I think we will go ahead and adjourn the formal meeting at 5:55, 5:56, whatever. 5:55, according to the clock on the wall.